There we go. All right. I'm so glad you. First of all, anytime I do my own personal healing, I invite as many people as I know to invite, because reason I do it is because sometimes you're at home by yourself, you can't get a hold of anybody, but you need to do your healing. And sometimes it's good to know how to take your own self through your own healing. And I'm a transparent coach. I'm not one of those coaches who be like, I got it perfect, I live perfect, y'all got problems, I don't have no problems. That's not me. I'm a coach that says I go through my stuff too, and I share my stuff so that um, I don't ask you to do anything I don't do myself. So when I be saying share your stuff, pull your stuff, tell your story, I don't tell you to do that and then I don't do it. I do the same thing I'm asking you to do, because one is pleasing to myself to pull myself through my healing, because that's all I desire. And then two, it assists others in learning how to pull themselves through their own healing. And I'm up for it. So here we go. Dr. Nicole, I just wanted you to be present so I can see your face. You don't really have to say anything because you ignited the question. You this is what you did. You said the spirit told you to stand in your square, not to move off your square. That's all you said. Stand in your square, not to move off your square. And I said, in order for the spirit to say, stand on your square, don't move, that means that, and you said it heeded like a warning, it felt like a warning. And I said, the only thing that, I mean, if the spirit warns you of something, that means something will present itself and it's causing you to remember, stand on your square. So when this comes to you, don't get off your square, stand on your square. I love God. I just said that today. That joker right there is the beast, honey. I would never live without that joker because it's just beautiful. And so when you said that, I shared with you, I said, well, for me, when stuff like that happens around me and I'm listening to someone, then my first response typically is to find out, how does that relate to me? Like how does that relate to me? That then becomes my question, because I'm talking to you, you're talking to me, and there's always a reason why I'm hearing something. Why? Because I design my life that if I hear it, then it means something, and I just have to find out what it means. Because I like to learn from I like to learn, I like to grow, I like to evolve, I like to have evidence of my evolution. You know, that's just my makeup. So I started to explore myself as it relates to you and you standing on your square. And so my question then became to myself, what could you possibly do to get her off her square? That's what my question was. You don't know what was going on in my head. This is your first time hearing what was going on in my head. When I did that thing I do. And my little, I'm going to my little, hmm. So I did that. I went to, what could I do to get her off her square? Because maybe I'm getting ready to do something that's going to take her off her square. And I immediately had this beautiful download. And I know how I would take you off of your square. Heed the message. So it's beautiful because it is there to show you something's going to take you off your square. Don't get off your square. Hold tight. So for a long time ago, this is how. So I'm going to go into the story of what I know would take you off your square. May ignite the feeling of taking you off your square as it relates to me. Reason being because of the nature of our relationship. So I have this thing, and I've had it for as long as I can remember being mentored by my uncle. So my uncle, you guys know, is my greatest mentor. I know you guys know because I say it all the time. I make sure I sing his praises. If he ever ignited something in me, I would say my uncle taught me that. My uncle gave me this. My uncle did this. My uncle did this, showed me this. I always sing his praises. I think you guys know that about me. Um, so let me just ask y'all, just unmute yourself. Have you ever heard me sing my uncle's praises?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, sorry about that. I got it so y'all can't unmute yourself. Okay, that will help.
All the time.
Yes. All the time.
Sure. It's very important to me to do that because that was how I could pay homage and respect to my mentor. And that was always important to me. It always has been. It always has been important to me. And I think the level of importance was exacerbated because my uncle kind of like had the same life that I did, where he was an outcast and nobody wanted to hear what he had to say. And so I was like, well, I don't care. I'm gonna scream it to the world. My uncle is the best. He taught me this. And somebody in the family talked to me. I'd be like, I don't care what y'all say. That's my uncle, and I'm going to be learning with him. And it became not only adoration for him, but it also became like I became his defense. Like I'm coming to his defense. You're not coming for him. I'm coming for his defense. I will be his star child. I will be the one that um is not going to mock or stand in the space of he's crazy. So it became important for me to give him praise. And so I took on that role. And so for me, on the other side of that, you guys have heard me say, I know you have heard me say, if I don't steal people's stuff. If you have ever heard me say that, just thank you, Mike. If you have ever heard me say, I don't steal people's stuff. If you taught it to me, I'm gonna say you taught it to me. I don't steal people's stuff. Have you guys ever heard me say that?
Yes.
Yes.
Say that. I say that all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
And I try to remember who taught me what because I don't want to be out of honor. That's to me, that's out of honor. I can't, I'm not gonna do that. I even do it like if you taught me something, I would say to you, you taught me this, or I got that from you. Like I told Lynn, Dr. Lynn, I said, you gave me, you always say you give from your overflow. So whenever I'm in that space of giving from my overflow, I would say I got that from Dr. Lynn. And when I go into my relationship space about boyfriend and girlfriend and somebody loving me by myself, I say, that's Dr. Nicole. She introduced that thought to me. When I go into my self-love space and I be like, it's all about me, I say, I got that from Dr. Eliku. Dr. Eliku gave me that. So I always go back and give to whoever gave to me. That is just my being. So I have been toying with, so here's the problem that I have. Here's the thing I'm going to be healing from. So now I gave you the backstory, the healing part now, right? Because the backstory is important. So here I am, I'm coming up against this bridge. I see the bridge and I go, oh my gosh, this is a pain point. How do I heal the pain point? So the pain point is when I heard Dr. Nicole say, Spirit told her to stand in the position, don't be shaken, stand in the position. Everybody doesn't have that thing that I have. That thing of this is uh how you say, I'm going to, what would I about just describe? Everybody don't have that thing. So sometimes, now this is getting into me and Nicole. Sometimes when Nicole speaks, I go through my adjust. She don't know this. She getting ready to learn it. But this is my healing. I go through my we had a moment the other day. May I share that moment? Okay. We had a moment the other day when Dr. Nicole said, I went to sleep and God told me, the Spirit told me, what did you say? I can't stay in my now. No, I got to stay in my now and not go to my future. My now is what's important. Do you remember what you said the other day when we were on the phone?
Yes. When Spirit told me that not to look back, that I had to stand in my new awareness, that I couldn't look back, because me looking back is me looking at my old awareness and what I manifested in my old awareness, so that I couldn't look back. I had to stay in my new awareness so that I could create from my new awareness. I couldn't continue to look at what was around me. I had to abandon that and just stay focused on the new awareness so that I could manifest in the new, versus looking at the old. That's what was keeping me stuck, because I had a new awareness, but I kept looking back at where I was. So I could no longer look back at where I was. I had to stay in the new awareness.
Ashay. Love that. Love that you remembered that. So she was having this conversation, and did just answer yes or no. Did I get excited about that when you said it to me?
No.
No, I did not get excited about that. And so this is where this comes into place. When the Spirit says stand on your square. So I'll show you your part first. Then I'm gonna go through my healing. Your part is not to be moved whether someone gets excited about what you just said. Like, I didn't get excited about it. You may have been sharing that in an exciting space, and I didn't get excited about it. I was like, I'm not excited about it. So if I am in your spiritual space, and I know that I am as one of the spiritual mentors, that may hit you away and be like, I wonder why she didn't get excited about it. That was a good message I got. If you're anything like me, because that's how I was with my uncle, like he didn't get excited about that. Whatever the effect is, it doesn't have to be it, but I am saying that I'm scanning myself to see how I could be the hinder. And that's one of the ways that I know that I could be the hinder if you call and I don't get excited. Or if you call and I don't go, that part right there. Yep, that's it. That's it. If I don't do that, that could have an effect on you. So if I ever get in that space, don't let me take you off your grind. Don't let me take you off your space. You keep going in the space that you're in, because whether I show up the way you would desire me to show up is irrelevant. No matter how much you love me, no matter how much you admire me, no matter how much you adore me, if I show up, that's beautiful. If I don't, do not let me take you off your square. You keep pushing. You keep going. Don't take that shit personal. Keep moving and stand on your square. Now, because I am a transparent coach, I will share my shit. I didn't show up because I said That's not no new awareness. I just spoke that message 2 weeks ago and she was right there. And she was right there when I said it. So I wasn't getting excited because I was like, I just spoke that message. But then I had to go back and say, well, why? Because that's a stand I took. I be telling y'all my shit, Joe. I don't hide my shit. I let you know. But I was like, you know, why do you stand in that posture? Then becomes my question. I was doing that in my mind that day. But when you just said that, your message, I was like, oh, because it could have an effect on her. But I felt it even then. I was like, this my non-response could have an effect on Nicole. I've been in that space probably for about 30 days. My non-response could have a great effect on Nicole, which is what one day you said, I feel this thing. Well, that could have been a part of it because one time I was going through a whole nother thing, but this is a whole nother thing. Anyway, we go through stuff, right? So I'm stay focused and stay on this one. In my mind, I was like, I just said that. I just said that. I just said that. I just said that. And in my mind, I was like, and she said, she laid down, she went to sleep, and God told her this message. I did not give honor. It took me about 5 minutes. Now I got to the honor part, but that ego was like, just told you that. I don't come up in here and call me and tell you God told you something when I just told you that 2 weeks ago. Are you kidding me right now? I don't want to hear, whatever. This is what's in my mind. I'm just telling you shit for real. This is what's in my mind. But then I go, why are you having that space? Like to me, I tell myself, why are you having that space? Well, I know why I'm having that space. I'm having that space because I live in a space that if you tell me something, I'm going to give you your flowers. If you tell me something, I'm not going to say that you didn't tell it to me. I'm going to say, you gave me that. This is what you imparted into me. That's a me thing. That's not a Dr. Nicole thing. That's a me thing. So I couldn't stand in the posture at the time of being excited because I was standing in the posture. She didn't give me my flowers. She did not give me my flowers. So I wasn't feeling no type of way other than I wasn't going to celebrate because you didn't give me my flowers. So today, now I knew this back then when you did it. I know this about myself, but I didn't know when you just said that, I didn't know how that space could be healed, right? Because there's a specific healing that could be attached to that space. So at the end of my conversation with myself, I said, well, you know what? So I'm gonna go back to that day. Because you know, I had to walk myself through that. So at the end of it, I said, you know what? God gives us the revelation when we get the revelation. We can hear stuff 1,000 times from 1,000 different people, but it doesn't mean that we get the revelation from it at the time that we hear the message. You can hear a message 2 years ago, hear it this year, and then it means something to you. So I had to go through my walkthrough. I was in there checking my ego, right? Or going through my walkthrough, like, it's okay if she didn't hear it or acknowledge it when you said it. It wasn't about you in the first place. It was always about how it could minister to her or how she could get what she needed out of it when the time was there. And giving the praise to God is the greatest praise that she could give anyway. It's the greatest praise and the best place for her to give it. So it's not important. It's not important for you to say to me, I gave you this and whatever. Thank you for giving me this. Thank you for sharing this with me. That is the least important. The most important is that you got a revelation and that you attributed it to receiving it from God. So I walked myself through that. Are you still here?
I'm here.
Okay. So I walked
Just
myself.
keep squeezing.
So I walked myself through that process, and I was okay by the end of the day. I didn't have no qualms. But when you just said what you said, I was like, in order for that to be facilitated on a consistent basis, that awareness that I had, in order for that to be on a consistent basis, for me not have to do a walkthrough all the time, means I have to get rid of a specific thing that exists inside of me, which is the thing that I would do to my uncle. I would give him praise. I would tell him you did this. I would tell him whatever. And so, in order for me to be on autopilot and not want you or anybody else to say, Dr. New showed me that, Dr. New did this, or Dr. New did that, I would have to remove the desire to hear that. And so I go and I say, do I want to remove the desire to hear that? Now, Dr. Wendy, Dr. Lynn, and Dr. Angel, recently, you all have probably heard me say this, but they have heard me say this recently. And what I recently, and Yolanda, what I recently asked the question, you guys, do you know what question I'm about to ask myself? Dr. Wendy, Angel, Dr. Lynn, Yolanda, you know what I'm about to ask myself?
Yes.
What?
What happened to the numbers? The
What happened
the
to the
people,
numbers?
yeah, the people, the high numbers, the people coming in, um, the views.
Okay, so yesterday I said in the session, why are you holding on to it? Why are you holding on to it? Question is, why am I holding on to that? Why am I holding on to that? So if I want to be in a constant, so whenever Dr. Nicole or anybody shares something that I may have said, and then they share it back to me, and so the question becomes, if I want to immediately go, oh my God, girl, I love that. Yes, God. In order to do that, I have to remove something. And that something that I have to remove is the desire to have my praise. Like I gave my uncle. I would have to remove the desire to have my praise. This is some deep shit, y'all. This is my healing, so don't worry about it. But so I said, do I want to remove my desire to have my praise? That now becomes the question. Oh, thank you, Cousin, for turning on your cam finally. Do I want to remove my desire to have my praise? Because for me, it's my report card. You guys have heard me say that before. You guys have heard me say it's my report card. I take it as my report card. So in order for me to be able to say to Dr. Nicole when she does that, because Dr. Nicole does that all the time. You do that all the time from my perspective. You do that all the time. Are you here?
Yes, here.
I want you to understand that this ain't your problem. I want you to understand before I keep going that this ain't your problem. I'm not talking to you saying I need you to change how you do something. You hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. This is not a get on Dr. Nicole because she don't give me my credit. This is not that conversation. You keep doing you. That ain't got shit to do with you. This is a me thing. This is not a you thing. This is a me thing. You hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm the one who's requiring the praise. I'm the one who's requiring the recognition. And I'm requiring it from you. I'm requiring it from anybody, I think. Just specifically, it comes up with you because you do it all the time. You do it almost every time. Okay, I'm gonna need you to get in a stable area. I'm gonna need you to get in a stable area. Can you hear
My
me?
internet is crazy. Uh-huh. I
Okay.
can hear you.
Okay. So you're the person who does this consistently. Almost every time I talk to you, you do that. Almost every time. You are the person that God is choosing for me to face this thing with, because nobody else does this like you do. When I talk to other people, they will always say, Dr. New, you know, you taught this. Dr. New, you teach this. Dr. New, I got this from you. Dr. New, but not you, not your ass, no sir. Not Dr. Nicole. Dr. Nicole that came up with it on her own. She done got the message from God. Hey, nowhere in your picture. It's consistent. So in order for me to I think I would use the word trigger. I think I'm going to use the word trigger. You are a huge trigger for me as it relates to me wanting praise for something I've done. That is huge. That is huge. I'm going to tell you why that's so huge. Because anyway, my question, the reason I started this live, this Zoom, was for me to determine if that was something I wanted to keep or something I wanted to throw away. I don't have the answer yet. I'm still working through it. But do I want to keep it or do I want to throw it away? What are you talking about, Dr. New? That feeding of my ego for you to tell me, I got this from you. You taught this to me. Do I need that? Do I need that? Do I want to keep that? How does this relate to you? Is because I might trigger you in my non-response or my non-excitement. You can feel it in the spirit world. You may not have known what it was, but you can feel it in the spirit world, because with spirit beings, you can feel the energy shift. So I'm having an issue with only you because you're the only one that does it like clockwork, clockwork, clockwork. So my question then becomes, do I need that? Do I need that? Do I want to change that? And if I want to change that, what am I holding on to that makes me not change it? So here's what I just heard when I was talking this through. One problem that I had with God when I was learning about God, and they say, praise God with all your heart. Just praise God with all your heart. And I told God, you so human. Fucking human. You need praise all the goddamn time. You so fucking human. I mean, I literally told God that. Like, you're so human. You got such a human trait. You want to be praised, don't you? You want the human to praise you. The one that's beneath you, you want us to praise you. You so I had all kinds of words for that joker inside the praise. And here I am standing in front of my own words. This shit is beautiful, Jeff. You can't make this beautiful ass shit up. This is beautiful. I'm standing in front of my own words. You want praise? That's how important it is to you. You want praise? You got mad because this girl said God gave her a message. You, I'm crazy. I understand this shit. I know this shit. I teach this shit. Crazy. You know, I curse at myself every now and then. Don't worry about that. But I was like, you are really crazy. The way I'm using this energy is crazy to me. It doesn't have to be crazy to anybody else. I'm just only talking about me. The way I'm using it is crazy. I'm using it crazy. Now I don't like how I'm using it. And I don't use it that way with others. I only use it that way with you. It does not apply to everybody else. It's only you. And I think and I said the reason that is you is because you're consistent with it. You're very consistent with it. It's always your idea, or it's always God that told it to you. You're very consistent. And you're right. I want you to hear me when I tell you that you're right. Don't you come off your square because I'm over here being crazy. Do you hear me? Okay. I'm just telling you how it's translating over here on my side. But you stay over there on your side. Don't come visit me over here on the crazy side. You stay on over there on your side of the street. It's my job to see if I like this side of the street or not. And I don't like how I'm using it. So I will be visiting. So I'm gonna go up to the question that I always ask you guys. Why do you hold on to it? Why do you hold on to it? Because that's the thing that gets us free. So when I was talking to you and I asked myself that question, and I came up with my answer. And my answer is I hold on to it because
Her phone went out, so she ended up leaving.
Okay, I want her to get a better connection. Okay, there we go. I hope you upstairs now. So while she's coming in, one of the things about getting yourself free from a behavior you don't like is to find out why you're holding on to it. This is why I called you guys in here, so y'all can see me do my work, because I do my work too. And I'm a transparent coach. And I believe that showing people how I do my work is important to me. That's important to me. Dr. Nicole, you back? All right, so I'm gonna keep moving because I don't know whether you're back or not. But so my part of the story is, why do I hold on to it? Why is it important for me to get my praise? Why is it important for me to hear you've done a good job, or I got that from you? Because there's a reason I'm holding on to that. And the reason that I hold on to that is two reasons. One, because it keeps my teachings alive that my uncle gave me. It keeps my relationship real. It validates that he still exists, because that's the energy that I flow in with him. So to release that space for me would hurt me really bad. Not saying that I won't do it, but it will hurt, because then I would have to release the fact that release that relationship, release the meaning of that relationship to me, because he was everything to me. And I was going to give him all of his praise because he did so much for me. He did not give me my new awareness, but he gave me an awareness of myself, and how he taught me and how he ministered to me was very important. And to release that for me feels like I would be releasing him, or releasing my relationship with him. And I have to see if so I would have to see if I want to do that. And so I think on that note, I'm going to have to say yes, because that isn't the only thing that validated him for me. He will still exist even if I release that part. I can still honor him without holding on, without making that be the defining moment of our relationship. Because the defining moment is what I gained from the divine connection. So yeah, I think that I'm comfortable releasing that. And then as it relates to me and my report card, because I take it as my report card. I don't I take it as my report card, but if I have to really explore myself, and that's what I'm doing, I would have to say that to some degree, that is still an out of control ego. And I would need to be ready to release that in order to enjoy. Ah,
It's okay. You're doing good, cousin. It's okay.
mm.
You're doing good.
Mm. Yeah, I would have to release that space because I think that that is my, you are good enough. You know what I mean? You are good enough. You're doing a good job. That's my, you're good enough. You're doing a good job space.
It's okay.
So my ego is trying to validate that space for me by requiring praise. So I don't really necessarily want that. So I have to find another way. Or not find another way because I don't want the same results. I just have to self validate. Yeah. The same thing I told God to do. Self validate. So, hmm. So I'm going to, this is the hardest thing because I don't want to let that go. Well, I would say my ego would not would like for me to not let that go, but the version of myself that I wish to become would like for that to go.
Did you hear what you said, lady? You doing so good, Dr. Anu. Wow.
You are. That's very powerful. And you're doing it.
Mhm.
Doing a great job.
Mm.
Doing a great job.
Mm.
You are.
Yeah, I can hear this voice saying, but you don't know what it looks like over there because you haven't been over there. You don't know what it looks like over there. Well, I know what it looks like right now. I know what it looks like over here. And I know I don't want that. So, so I would have to go.
I don't know that you even understand how important it was to me, this conversation, because I've felt that energy. And all I could think of is, don't she know how much I love her? You know, she can't feel my love for her. Um, and I didn't, there's times when I can put my finger exactly on what it is. And there's times when I can't. But our friendship means everything to me. Everything. And I would say, there's sometimes I would just sit and send you love because I just wanted you to know how much I cared for you and loved you. So to have this moment and to be able to understand what it is means so much. And I don't know if you know it, and I don't know why it's coming this way, but I do honor you in such a great way. and reverence you. You are my master teacher. You are. You will always be. And I love you.
Mm. Oof. Mm. Yeah.
If I don't say it or do say it, I need you to know that. I just need you to know that, period. You've sown so much into my life. So much more than I can even express.
You know what? I love this. I love this expanding shit. I love this expanding shit. Dr. Nicole, I love you so much. And I'm gonna say this to you. 20 minutes ago, I would have sucked that in. Today, I don't need it right now. Isn't that great about goddamn healing?
Oh, it's wonderful.
I love you. I love you. I love you for saying that. And as I always do, I would just give it back to the person. That still is my motto. But you're the only person that was my trigger to find out who I was and who I was being. You were the person chosen to show me who I was and who I was being. So I appreciate it. So I needed that. I needed that. I needed what you said an hour ago. I don't need it now. But I do appreciate you showing up for me because you showed me that I'm not your master teacher. Every time you said, I got this, you showed me I was not your master teacher. Every time you did say, you taught me this. You were here to show me the beauty of someone taking ownership of them being their master teacher.
Wow.
So, how beautiful is that? I honor you for staying in your square. It was me that had to do the work. That ain't got nothing to do with you. It was me that had to do the work. Yes. So I appreciate it. I just expanded today. I just expanded. So thank you. Yes. That was good. I'm excited. I don't feel scared anymore to go to my new side. I wasn't having that experience with anybody else. I was only having that experience with you. But it was a beautiful experience to push me to my next level. Yeah, yeah. I wasn't requiring it from anybody but you. Only because you stayed in that consistent posture. Ever since I've known you, you've been in that consistent posture. And I was trying to figure it out. I couldn't figure it out until you said that what you just said. Like, I gotta stand in my square. And I was like, how can I get her off her square? And that's it. That was it for me. That was baby, we got to do it. We about to do it. So thank you. I no longer need the praise. Now they may give me the praise and I will now interpret it. I will use it different. If they give it, they give it. If they don't, they don't. I'm not gonna be bothered by it either way. But I won't use the energy the same way. I will not use it to be my report card. I will not use it to validate my work. I will not use it that way. I will self-validate. Yeah. Because whether they get it or not is on them. I say that all the time. Whether they get it or not, that's on them. But I will not use it to validate me. I didn't realize that was serving as validation to that degree. So this was necessary. I don't need your praise. But thank you for that. And thank y'all for showing up. I'm not gonna hold y'all. If y'all have any questions, you can ask me. I'm an open person.
Congratulations.
Ah! Thank you. Thank you.
I have a question for you.
Congratulations.
Yes.
How does it feel to have released that?
Really good. It was scary at first, but it feels really good. Really good. Yeah. Real good. Feels free. It's a freeing feeling. Yeah. Okay. Nakiru, did I hear your voice today?
You did, you did.
It was beautiful to hear. Thank you.
I have a question for you too.
Yes.
Do you know just how powerful you are?
Mm.
Mm.
I say. I
I
say.
love you and I appreciate everything that you do, Dr. Anu. Seeing you today, it was beautiful. And you invited me to this space. And I took a little bit of time coming, but I now know that you, even in you dealing with your shit, even in you dealing with your own shit, you still had enough reserve to pull me in this room.
Mm.
You a powerful being.
Mm.
Do you really know how powerful you are?
I say. I say. I received that. And thank you.
I love you, lady.
I love you too. I want you to know that I return those words because Angel already knows that I love her. I'm just gonna say this to you. When you spoke, it really did assist me. When I heard your tone, I said I didn't I thought it was you, but I wasn't sure. But when I heard you speak, it really like so if you had to visualize it in the spirit world, it was like push like go on the other side. It felt like a push in the spirit world, and I was like, got it, got it. So thank you for speaking that.
Ashe.
Shay. Shay. And always thanks, cousin, for jumping in. You're helping with me with my location. Appreciate that. Shay.
It's an honor, just like it's an honor for you to do it for me.
Shay.
Thank you for your honesty.
Shay.
And sharing the walkthrough. It means a lot.
Shay. Shay. Oh, thank y'all for joining in. this was life changing for me. I appreciate it. All right. Well, I'm not going to hold you guys. I don't have any more questions. And they can go on. I'm gonna go eat these grits my mama done cooked. and, and celebrate my self validation. I'm gonna have to give me a t-shirt. Self validate. I'll say. All right, let me start the recording. How do I do that?